So this is really, really interesting, and it doesn't conflict, frankly, in my mind. This doesn't conflict with my recommendation that the Democrats say to the Republicans, you know, for the next 4 years, we're going to do what you did for the last 8 years, which is require 60 votes for anything to pass the Senate. Just assume that there's going to be a perpetual filibuster. Now, we may choose on occasion to set that aside, but this is the new normal. And you guys created it. We're simply following along. Number one. And number two, then the Democrats should put together a very straightforward piece of legislation that doesn't have any, Christmas tree ornaments hanging from it, no bells and whistles, just very straightforward, that says the United States is withdrawing from all trade agreements that have an investor-state dispute settlement portions to them or that have anything to do with things like copyright, trade, things beyond trade, right, which is basically all the trade agreements. We're going to withdraw. So it could even be very simple. We're going to simply withdraw from all trade agreements and internally develop an America First trade policy, like we had from 1787. We talked about this with Eamon Fingleton on what, Tuesday, I think it was? Maybe Monday. So we're going to develop an America First trade policy. In fact, use Trump's language. Use America First. Yeah, I know the right-wingers used it back in the 30s, but, everybody who remembers them is dead. People don't know, America First. So, here's an America. In fact, they could call it the America First trade policy. And present it very publicly in the areas that Donald Trump is paying attention to. Twitter. Put it on Twitter. Get some people on Fox News talking about it. Put together a plan for, hey, we want to cut healthcare expenses in this country in half, and we want to repeal Obamacare. We're going to replace it with Medicare for all. Do the same strategy. We're going to do away with student debt. Here's how. Do the same strategy. Just make sure that none of it involves explicitly in the beginning raising taxes on rich people. And go and just say, when you were saying the same things Bernie Sanders was saying in slightly different ways, but, we're down with that. And watch Mitch McTurtle and Paul Ryan just croak.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann program. Call 202-808-9925.
I mean, I have this picture in my mind all over Washington, D.C. of Republican senators and House members reading this article and blowing coffee out their nose.